There's a lot of things the NBA doesn't tell you, from referees rigging games to players doing some crazy things to get a win. These are 20 things you didn't know about the NBA. And for number 20, I bet you had no idea that NBA mascots get paid more than doctors. Yeah,
Really?
the 400,000, Barry the Hawk, 500, and Rocky the Mountain Lion makes 625,000 a year. Damn, these mascots are rich. That's crazy. And so is number 19. Because you probably didn't know that NBA arenas can turn into monster truck derbies. Yeah, and it only takes 90 minutes. So if you stay a little bit after an NBA game, you can catch moments like this. God damn, these monster trucks are dangerous. And speaking of monsters, we gotta talk about number 18.
Hey.
I bet you didn't know about the referee that's banned from the NBA. This is Tim Donaghy. And in the early 2000s, he was one of the most respected refs in the entire
2002 Lakers versus Kings, Western Conference Finals. That series is for sure rigged.
league. But behind the scenes, Tim had a dark secret. Yeah, this man had a gambling problem. And not only was he illegally betting on his own games, but he was also selling insider information to his friends, tipping them off on fouls he'd be calling that night, making up to $5,000 for every bet he helped him win. While Tim thought he was running a genius scheme, what he didn't know was that his gambling advice was ending up in the hands of some dangerous people, the mafia, who wanted Tim's help at any cost. But I didn't know number 17 either. The fact that the tallest and shortest players in NBA history were teammates. Yeah, in the 80s, the Washington Bullets wanted to build the most unique team in the league. So they drafted 7'7" Manute Bol and 5'3" Muggsy Bogues. And together, they looked ridiculous. And these two were built different. But there's one player that was really built different. Because for number 16, there's an NBA player that's missing a finger. This is Gerald Green. And when Gerald was just 11 years old, he lost his finger in a horrific accident. Despite being short-handed, he went on to become a star, playing 12 seasons in the NBA, earning over $20 million, even winning the 2007 dunk contest. Man, someone needs to give this guy a high four. Because for number 15, I doubt you knew that NBA players got paid less than truck drivers.
What? No, I don't.
See, back in the 70s,
back in the
average
70s.
NBA salary was just $35,000 a year. That's $5,000 less than what truck drivers made. And it didn't matter how good the player.
Today,
That's
inflation
less than what truck drivers made. And it didn't matter how good the player was either, because Wilt Chamberlain, one of the greatest of all time, made just $1.5 million his entire career.
Inflation.
That's how much Steph Curry makes in 3 games. But number 14, you probably knew that players got fined for breaking rules. But what you didn't know is where the money goes, because the NBA gives every last penny to charity. And since 2010, the league's donated over $100 million, all because of fines. So flipping out fans or swearing at reporters is really all for a good cause. But number 13 is all for the flex. Because I bet you had no idea that NBA championship rings cost millions. See, in 2020, the Lakers won their 17th title in franchise history. They wanted to celebrate big, so they hit up celebrity jeweler Jason of Beverly Hills and had him craft the most expensive rings in NBA history.
We had diamonds going all the way down the side. We had each player's number written with a mamba snake in the background in honor of Kobe Bryant.
So in total, the Lakers spent over $3 million. Damn, rings do look flashy though, but I can't say the same for number 12. I bet you didn't know that. The granny shot is scientifically proven to be the most effective free throw form.
Is it really though?
Yeah. This
Is it really? Just because Rick Barry hit it doesn't mean that everybody else can hit it at that rate.
Rick Barry. And in the 60s, he was doing the unthinkable, shooting every free throw, granny style. The man looked ridiculous. But hey, it worked, because Barry was shooting 90% from the free throw line. That's the same percentage as Steph Curry. Now, as weird as the granny shot is, it's nothing compared to number 11.
Just because Rick Barry did it doesn't mean that everybody else can shoot 90% from the foul line.
Because NBA players have some of the weirdest names imaginable. I mean, there's God Sham God, Wawa Jones, even got Fat Lever knocking down threes.
Grady Dick.
One player in France
Oh, you
the
fat.
NBA needs to sign, because he'd have the weirdest name in NBA history.
Driving baseline. Oh, you fat with a 3. Yes, I just said that. Don't tweet at me. I don't want to tweet from anybody. That's the main thing.
Hey, Mr. Ho You Fat, if you're watching this, I want a signed jersey, dog. That name is fire. Well, look, we're in the top 10 now, so from here on out, you
Campo,
won't know a
Ryan
damn
Duncan,
thing.
learn some new skills,
But
buddy.
you didn't know that the NBA is going to Mexico. For number 9, probably didn't know that the
Whatever
NBA
this.
had some of the weirdest logos ever, like this terrifying Knicks logo, or this hideous Celtics logo. Hell, in the 60s, this was
Current Pelicans logo looks pretty bad as well.
the Lakers logo. Man, we could have had a giraffe. Ridiculous. That's why for number 7, I don't think you knew that the league made a rule with saving players' lives. See, in 1986, the NBA's next big star,
Len Bias.
was drafted second overall by the Celtics. People were expecting the kid to dominate the league for years to come. Sadly, only 2 days later, tragedy struck.
The Maryland Medical Examiner has now issued his report on the death of the college basketball star Len Bias. It confirms the worst suspicions. He died of heart failure because he used cocaine. First, here's ABC's Bill Green.
From that day forward, the NBA couldn't stand to watch another young star suffer the same fate. So just a month later, they created the Rookie Transition Program, where incoming rookies are taught how to adjust to the NBA lifestyle. So these days, players are getting the support and education they need to make the best of their careers. And all this training is paying off. Because at number 6, I bet you didn't know that players got paid over $1 billion to be in NBA 2K. Yeah, back in 2019, the NBA Players Association signed a 7-year deal with 2K, worth $1.1 billion.
Really?
That money is shared amongst the players that appear in the game. While specific numbers aren't public, it's estimated that the top NBA players can earn up to $250,000 a year just from being in 2K. These dudes get to play with themselves and get a bag deal. That's legendary. And so is number 5, because the NBA broke a world record. See, in 2010, the NBA wanted to take their All-Star game to new heights. As the saying goes, everything's bigger in Texas, so the league went down to Dallas and got to work, turning the Cowboys
Hey, my God,
Stadium
Vancouver.
into
Man, I'll
an
take this
NBA
picture on.
arena. This game
Merry
hit
Christmas,
big.
bro.
By the end of the
Spending time
night,
with
set a
families
world
right
record for the
now.
most fans in attendance.
Bro, I saw a
Basketball
comment
history.
about my Intel
108,713.
Pentium. I saw a comment on my Intel Pentium laptop.
Out of all those people over the years, the player with the most rings is Kobe Bryant with 23.
Easy money. Easy money. Easy money.
Alright, dog, it's top 3 time, so we're taking you didn't know to the extreme. First, we gotta talk about the curse of the Denver Nuggets. Back in 1975, Nuggets were facing the Indiana Pacers in the division finals. During Game 2, Indiana decided to pull out their secret weapon, Dancing Harry. Now, if you thought this was just some harmless dancing, you'd be dead wrong. Dancing Harry put a hex on the Nuggets, and it must have worked. So the Pacers won the next 2 games. So going into Game 5, Nuggets needed some magic of their own. That's when they devised a plot to get revenge, hiring Roboto, Golden Witch of the West, to put a curse on the Pacers. Yeah, they actually hired a witch, but in the end, I think Roboto must have cursed the wrong team. So not only did the Nuggets go on to lose that night, but they also got eliminated from the playoffs just a couple of days later. And legend has it, Denver's still cursed to this day. But speaking of legends, for number 2, probably didn't know that there's only one jersey number that's retired by the NBA. See, with 5 MVPs, 12
Bill
All-Star
Russell.
games, and 11 championships, Bill Russell dominated the game. Yeah, what he did off the court was even greater, because Bill was a trailblazer. He was the first black head coach in NBA history, and was even awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom. So in 2022, when he sadly passed away, the NBA decided to honor Bill by permanently retiring his number 6. Hansel. See, back in the 70s, the NBA had a huge problem on their hands. Their 2 biggest stars, Will Chamberlain and Bill Russell, had both retired. College basketball had become more popular than the pros, and drug scandals were ruining players' lives and the league's reputation. And throughout the decade, these issues caused the NBA's viewership to plummet. It got so bad that, by 1978, they weren't even televising the finals games live, and the league was considering getting rid of multiple teams. No one was watching the NBA. But then, something crazy happened, because in 1979, the NBA was taken over by 2 future GOATs at the same time, Larry Bird and Magic Johnson. And from that point on, the NBA was never the same.
And those 2 guys, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, saved the NBA. And these 2 guys stayed along, and they just want to save the NBA. So, all these guys out here spending all this money, they owe Magic and Larry Bird. A lot of kudos.
Magic and Bird changed the NBA. They made basketball cool. Suddenly, fans were lining up to watch, to the point where, by 1985, the league had doubled in its viewership and revenue, and the NBA has been thriving ever since.